Hey everyone, I'm Acid Jurassic. Today we're going to be unboxing Fifine's AHE microphone kit. Fifine's struggling when our microphone broke and they were kind enough to send us this kit over for review. So I'll walk you through what's in the box, how it's set up, then we'll test to see how it actually sounds compared to a streaming setup. This is marketing as a budget mic for creators, but I'll show you why even this entry-level microphone is already a big upgrade over most premium headsets. Alright, so let's get into the unboxing part. There's going to be two stickers at the very top, which is going to prevent you from opening your microphone. Never cut towards yourself. Packaging wise, everything is held securely with styrofoam, so you don't have to worry about anything getting damaged in shipping. So to start off with, we went with a white microphone. They have several different kinds. For a general breakdown of the microphone, it comes with a built-in shock mount. If you want to mute yourself easily, all you have to do is click the top of the microphone, which has a convenient little tap there. And then last but not least, over next to the base, they have a button for RGB controls. It comes in white, black, and pink. Now what's really cool and sets this mic apart is it actually comes with its own noise cancellation filter. A lot of microphones do not come with this. So the pop filter is designed to help correct some of the words going into the microphone. So like for example, S usually has a little bit of a hiss. This should help prevent that. And it also does not have the smiley face. On the right side, we have the cord, which is going to be plugging into the computer. It does have a adapter, so it can plug into USB. So if you're on the go, this can actually be used on a micro USB port, which is actually pretty cool. So it's going to be the same plugin that an Android phone would have. If you're someone who likes to travel on the go a bunch, the cool thing about this microphone kit is it actually has a micro USB port, which is going to be this little adapter here. So it's going to have the ability to connect into most USB-C ports, which is the same port that all cell phones have been using. Same with Android. Last but not least, we have the boom arm assembly. So this is going to be the base of it, and then we'll grab the rest underneath the rest of the foam here. And last but not least, here is the boom arm assembly. Now we do have a unique feature on this one, and it's something that I really like. Fifine uses universal arms across their mic lines, so whether you start here or upgrade later, the same boom arm will work with models like the AM8T or even their flagship K688. That's a smart design choice. And then you can get the cables and manuals and everything you need. And then last but not least, the manuals inside the box, but that is going to be it for the unboxing. Now it's time for the assembly part. So this next part is actually going to be a pretty tight fit, so when you're trying to line up your pop filter, you're going to need to use a decent amount of force to push it inside the socket. But it'll slide in perfectly. So to start off, we want to make sure that we have our guy perfectly lined up on the table. So we're going to unscrew it, and then the goal here is going to be to have the table completely lined up with it, then you tighten it down. This top part, this is where your boom arm is going to slide into. So you'll be able to unscrew this, that way you can slide it in, tighten it up, and then we will head into the software. But I'll show you guys how to put it on the side of your desk. I find it personally easier to put this guy on first, that way you know it's on nice and secure, and then worry about putting the boom arm on afterwards, since it's just literally sliding down a hole. So once you get enough slack, all you're going to do is slide it underneath your desk, and then you're going to tighten the clamp. You should get a pretty snug feeling, and that's when you know you're good to go.
All you have to do is open up your boom arm stand. There's going to be a bronze piece at the top, which is where your microphone goes, and the colored part, which goes down into your base stand. So you unscrew the base stand knob, and then you just slide down the boom arm down into the slot. You should hear a click.
And keep on unscrewing it until it slides all the way in. You'll hear an audible click. Once you do that, you know you're in good, and then tighten it up. The springs should make a little bit of a noise once they hit down. And then from here, all we have to do is plug in the microphone. And everything's also color-coded, so we have a bronze piece here. The bronze piece is going to be tightening onto this guy. Make sure you're holding the metal piece with your fingers. That way when you're spinning, it's not going to spin, and it's just going to be tightening down on the clamp itself. It'll feel nice and secure once it's all the way down, so you don't have to worry about it. And then this knob here is how you're going to adjust where your microphone's actually positioned. So you can rotate it, and then you turn this white knob pretty tight, and then it'll lock in for you. And then whenever you're trying to use the microphone, you just have to move it around like this. So that's out the way. We have the cord, which is going to have Velcro holding it on. So peel that open. It'll still be connected to the cord itself, so you can take it off if you want to. The USB port goes to your computer. and this end goes to the microphone. Now, if you have a micro USB port on your computer itself, then it shouldn't matter which direction you're actually putting the cord. Now, you're going to notice that this USB is black instead of blue. So that means it's going to work in any USB port, whether it's 2.0 or 3.0. 3.0 USB is going to be the blue ones on your computer. I always recommend plugging in audio interfaces to the blue, that way they get the max amount of power possible. But since it doesn't have a 3.0 cord, it should be fine to plug into any port. And then you have your cord here, which will connect to the microphone itself.
Once you hear that chime, you know your computer is connected with it properly, and now you'll also notice that it's automatically going to turn on the RGB. So it actually has some really cool features where it has several different colors that we can cycle through. And all you have to do is barely touch this little back button here and it's going to automatically swap through. Same with the very top mute feature. All it is slide your finger over it and it'll automatically mute itself. So you can scroll through and pick whichever your favorite color is inside of the list. They have several different variations and some are even a combination of colors. Now you're going to notice there's a little bit of play here. That's okay for the shock mount, but there's a knob here on the left side that you want to tighten down, that way it's a little bit more secure. Also, where the white metal touches the silver, if it's still a little loose, you can tighten it by turning the whole base assembly to the right, and that will make it go holding on the microphone more securely. And then the shock mount's designed that way it takes off a lot of the pressure, so even though we're balanced up like this, that's completely normal. That's what a shock mount's designed to do. Alright, so now that we are in the software side of things, you want to right click on this microphone area and go to Sound Settings. From here, you should see your microphone input. Make sure it is set to the correct voice. Now, once you set it to default audio, you're going to notice that the device is currently in use. That just means that your computer is currently using it, so you can't really change that too much. When you get to this part, there's a couple different options here. We have an input volume. You don't really want to be changing it too much inside the software. The microphone itself has a knob on the very back bit. So this knob right here, this is going to be your gain control. So that's what's going to be used to making it go louder or quieter. And then also, if it's loose, this is where you rotate it on the base itself to make it tighter. That way it's not flopping around. And as you guys can see, it holds tight once we have it secure. This is going to be for Windows 11. Windows 10 is going to be a little bit different menu. Now, to give this a fair test, I wanted to make sure it was in more of my streaming setup instead of how we had it set downstairs. So this is going to be about 2 or 3 hands away from my face currently. So this is going to be a little bit further back, a more relaxed position. And then if you move it in closer, this is about 2 hands away from my face. It'll sound a little bit more clear. And then once you get a lot closer, it'll also pick up a little bit more of the depth inside of your voice. So this microphone is going to need to be a little bit closer compared to some of the other ones. And then if you really wanted to speak into it, this is what it sounds like when it's completely close to your face. So you can decide which position you like the most. Overall, though, I'm really surprised with the quality of this microphone. I'm very excited for it, and especially since it's coming in at $46.99 for just the base microphone. Compared to what I paid originally for my other microphone, this is actually a really great deal, and it's decent quality, too. So that's the Fine AAT microphone kit, unboxed, set up, and tested. For newer creators on a budget, this is already a huge step up over most premium headsets. What makes it even better is the upgrade path. If the budget allows, you can move up to something like the AM-AT, which I'll be reviewing in a few weeks, and because of the boom arm is universal, your gear carries forward instead of getting replaced. Thanks again to Fine for sending this out. If you want to check it out, the links are down in the description down below. I'll pin their comment below. This is Acid Jurassic signing off. See you guys in the next one.